What's going on, y'all? My name's Rob. Welcome back to the Kentucky Chew. Alright folks, welcome back. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Sorry I've been a little bit MIA lately. Work has kept me traveling and family stuff. You know how it goes. So I figured since there's been a little bit of a time lapse since we finished the budget bourbon brawl. If you did miss that series, there was a few videos along the way. We did a March Madness style bracket type challenge. We picked a lot of budget friendly bourbons and whiskeys. The hope there was that some of these at least would be available for most across the nation. I've learned in the comments that not all of us have these products available depending on where we live, so I do appreciate you all commenting. I do read them and comment back, so you know, it is interesting to see what selection there is for other people, for other bourbon enthusiasts. So made me realize maybe it's not all that bad in Kentucky. I thought I kind of got a little frustrated in the past years with people always forming lines and waiting and trying to buy things, and but you know, at least we can find most things for the most part. So anyways, enough talking about that. Let's do a review. Let's check out a bottle, something I've picked up a couple months ago. Very excited to try it. Even more excited to try it now that I've watched a few videos of my own. And that bottle is the Stagg. Now, if you're not familiar with this is a Buffalo Trace product. It used to be Stagg Junior. Okay, so there used to be a junior next on the label here. And the reason being, for anyone that is familiar with bourbon, whiskey, Buffalo Trace, they have what's called the George T. Stagg. It's a taller, skinnier bottle, and it is a very highly sought after product. It is good, in my opinion. It depends. So it's a once a year release. I remember waiting in line years ago. There were going to be some products put out at a store that I was going to at the time. One of those was the Stagg Junior. I remember it was like Stagg Junior, Hancock, Rock Hill Farm, and I want to say Kentucky Out Confiscated. I mean, it was quite the lineup. And I did not get my hands on a Stagg Junior. At the time, I had a George T. Stagg bottle, and so this is the first bottle of Stagg that I've owned. They've now dropped the Junior. It's not part of the label anymore. It makes it kind of confusing when you're talking about the product now, because most people refer to the George T. Stagg as just Stagg. That was the common name for it in this world. So, but regardless, besides all that, I'm super excited to try this. So the bottle that I have is the 23A, and it is 130.2 proof. So this boy's hot. All right, this is going to be a hot one. If you're not into that kind of thing, this is not going to be a bottle that you want to get your hands on. If you do like the higher proof products though, we'll find out. I have watched a few videos that really like this bottle compared to the 23B and the 23C. A lot of people are saying this is the better one out of those three. I just got lucky that this was the one that I bought. I wasn't specifically going after it. The 23A, that is. I just was able to get my hands on it. So fresh crack. Let's just pop this open and get into it. Let's see what's going on. Alright folks, so like I said, this is 130.2 proof. This is an unfiltered product. It is barrel proof, so if you probably have seen barrel proof on other products before, this is one of Buffalo Trace's versions of a barrel proof product. Most barrel proof products are going to be higher in proof. 130 is pretty up there. I do have a few bottles that are a little bit higher than that still. Let's see what this is all about. I cannot remember the last time I had a Stagg product, like George T. Stagg or Stagg Junior, to be honest with you. The George T. Stagg I had was the 2019. It is long gone. This one just kind of fell into my lap. Got lucky. Cheers, y'all. Happy chewing. Okay, so nose-wise, very traditional to a Buffalo Trace product. Definitely got the fruitier, sweet profile. Definitely getting a little hint of the oak. Mostly sweet though. Smells pretty well balanced. I'm getting more of like the When you say fruit, I'm thinking like more of like a cherry type fruit. Yeah, pretty traditional Buffalo Trace. Nothing too crazy sticking out. Not any major differences as a, compared to any of their other products that I have. So, all right, let's dive in. Wow, man. Okay, here are my initial thoughts on this. 130.2 proof. My first sip of the night of having anything alcohol related. I'm shocked. I'm shocked at how easy it was for me to drink that. It has heat to it. Do not get me wrong. That is packing some heat with it. But well balanced, like, not overpowering. Definitely not getting like an alcohol burn. It's just like a boast of flavors coming out of it. But it's all just the traditional Kentucky whiskey product flavors that you want. Very, very impressed. Very impressed right now. And you talk about a Kentucky hug, you talk about a warm mouthfeel, this is it. Yeah, I'm getting a really nice charred oak with this one. Probably coming from that barrel proof, it being a little bit of a hotter product. I actually don't know how long Stagg Jr. I'm gonna call it Stagg Jr., okay, because I need to differentiate the George T. Stagg here. I don't know how long Stagg Jr. is aged. I think it's around 6-ish year mark. Gosh, Buffalo Trace just knows what they're doing, in my opinion. I mean, that is a very well balanced pour of bourbon for how high that proof is. Good vanilla, cherry, oak, warm flavors. I like this. And it's got a good finish. I mean, that's gonna warm you up. I'm definitely gonna put the cap back on this one, save it for the winter time. This would not be a summer choice for me, but really happy I bought this. Score-wise, let's go ahead and give it a review. Nose is good, taste is great, finish is solid. I mean, I'm gonna give it a 7.5, right? That's a 7.5 for me. Way better than just average. I wouldn't say it's like extraordinary, I have had some products that in my opinion are gonna be better, but really good. I don't like to get caught up too much in the moment on one product. There are a lot of products out there. You taste something, you have it 6 months later, and you have a completely different experience with it, right? So, let's talk about this. Stagg Jr. is a very highly allocated bottle. In my area here in Kentucky, $200 to $250, maybe even getting close to $300 depending on which release it is. That's what it's going to run you secondary. That's a good chunk of change for a bottle of whiskey, right? So, what are some alternatives? What is something we can buy here if you are in that higher proof? You are the whiskey lover that wants something that's just going to be a little bit higher proof, pack a little bit more of a punch. I've got two options here that, in my opinion, these are solid products. They're from different distilleries, and they're going to be in that proof range. So the first one I've got here this is an Old Forester single barrel. If you haven't seen these, they used to be in a black label. I'm pretty sure they're all now a blue label product, but these typically are going to be in that upper 120 to 130 proof range. This one actually comes in at exactly 130.4, so almost spot on with the Stagg Jr. here. So like I said, Old Forester, it's obviously out of the Old Forester distillery. This is a single barrel product, and this is a barrel strength. This is from a store I bought in 2020. And then next, a crowd favorite, something that I like a lot, Elijah Craig. So Elijah Craig, most people are probably familiar with their barrel proofs, like the C923, caught a lot of buzz, very popular bottle, people went crazy for it. The thing with the barrel proofs, as far as Elijah Craig barrel proofs go, typically you can find them for $80, $85. It's a bottle that it's sought after, but it just doesn't gain that secondary price that a lot of other bottles do, which is great. Super happy and thankful for that. In my area, you can find Elijah Craig barrel proof on the shelf if you time it right. It's not like people are waiting in line. Usually it's not one of those that's like off the shelf in like one day. It's not gonna be sitting there for months by any means, but you typically can find it. If you do wanna find it on the secondary market, you definitely can also. What I've been looking for, so Elijah Craig barrel proofs, I've been seeing a lot of what's called the private barrel, and so these are also store picks. This specific one actually came from Kroger, and it's 133.6 proof. So it's a little bit hotter than our other two here, a little bit higher proof point. But as far as to see how good is the Stagg, like let's find out. Let's put it up against some other products. I feel like these are some two pretty solid choices. So let's get these poured up and have ourselves a night. Like I said, I've been traveling a lot. By the way, if you live in Illinois, I flew into Chicago. I did not stay in Chicago. I traveled about, I think it was like 40 miles south from there. Not a great selection with bourbon, with whiskey. Not even in like restaurants and stuff. I don't know if that's the case everywhere. If you live in Illinois and you happen to be watching my channel, let me know. Is whiskey a thing for you all? Is bourbon, do you all like it? Do you not like it? Because I definitely did not see much of a selection there. I stopped in a few stores. I was hoping to kind of maybe find something that you can't typically find in Kentucky. Maybe some store picks, things like that, but seemed pretty dry. All right, we will start with the Old Forester. Okay, definitely can tell it's an Old Forester product. If you have watched a few of my videos, or if you are a whiskey or bourbon lover yourself, you probably pick up on banana notes with Old Forester. It seems to be a consistent theme. I do get it still. I still am getting a hint of a banana note. It's not nearly as strong as their lower proof products, but it is there. Old Forester me also like, not just banana, but almost like a bananas Foster like dessert. That's kind of the nose I get with a lot of their products. I am getting that here. Cheers, happy chewing. Whoa. Woo! So, comparing wise, this Old Forester is drinking way hotter than that Stagg. My goodness. You can see, this is a bottle I've had a few pours out of. I have shared. But man, that one, the nose is almost deceiving. I think I can almost trick someone who doesn't know a lot about whiskey and give them this and let them smell it and taste it and probably knock their socks off. My word. I gotta clear my throat before I take another sip of that. It's drinking hot. It's not that it's bad. I don't want that to be misconstrued. It's still a good pour. Definitely drinks closer to its proof though, right? Like a nice thing with whiskey sometimes is when you got a 120 proof bottle, but it drinks like a 100 proof bottle. It just goes down easy, right? Like people like that. This Old Forester is definitely drinking close to that 130 point proof point. That's pretty high. Let's move on to the Elijah Craig and see if we get anything different here. Nose wise, like I said, we're just comparing. That's all we're doing here is just comparing these three. Nose wise, it seems like it's lacking. I'm really not getting much. Maybe I just singed everything in my body drinking the Old Forester, but yeah, it's kind of flat. I mean, ever so slightly, like a little bit of peanut, like an earthy peanut, maybe like some hay. Definitely not sweet. Let's give it a taste. Wow. But hey, 133.6 proof does not drink like it. Does not. That is very easy to drink. That's a dangerous bottle, ladies and gentlemen. That is a dangerous bottle. 133.6 proof does not drink like that at all. That is a very well balanced product. Elijah Craig knows what they're doing. I mean, like almost no burn at all. That is very easy to drink. Tastes like a traditional Elijah Craig product. I'm a fan of the small batch. I'm a fan of, I do like their toasted barrel. I don't think it's the best toasted barrel product, but I am a fan of the toasted barrel. And then I've got numerous of the barrel proofs. This, like I said, this is technically a private barrel, but it's just a store pick version of the barrel proof. So let's go back through. I just want to go back through, make sure I didn't miss anything. And since I poured them, got to drink them. So, all right, maybe my palate's warming up a little bit better. That was easier coming back through. Did get a little bit of that banana note with a little bit of that nice bourbon sweetness. Still drinks hotter compared to the other ones. This one definitely still drinks hotter. Let's finish it off with the Stagg. See if we get any finishing thoughts on this. Only got a little bit left in the glass here. I'll try to keep from pouring myself some more. Man, I just love Buffalo Trace products with their nose. I mean, I just love that balance of oak and fruit. I just think they do a good job with that. Yeah, it's a good product. It really is. It's a nice pour. That Stagg 23A. I'm gonna go back to the Elijah Craig real quick. Okay. Yeah. So good. I think in this lineup here, my personal preference, I am going to put the Stagg on top. I do think overall, when you're looking at nose, taste, and finish, you're putting all that into the complete package, Stagg takes it. The Elijah Craig would be a runner-up for me. Very impressed at that being 133.6 proof and where it's drinking at. I mean, I would guess it's closer to like 115, 120, and that's no BS. Like, that truly is where it's drinking at. A good, solid product. And then the Old Forester. Really, it took me by surprise. I can't remember the last time I tasted this one. Like I said, this came out of 2020. Maybe that's why. Still a good product. You just want to prep yourself on it. So, gonna give that a 7.5 out of 10. If you get your hands on it, give it a try. Let me know what you think. And until then, I'll see y'all next time. Cheers, y'all. Happy chewing.